Well, I'm glad I did my hair, because I would be upset if it was picture perfect. I used to be a sports editor of a small newspaper for years, so I was there for 16 years, and now I'm a freelance, largely newspaper writer, and I try to focus on sports. I have a weekly column in the Poughkeepsie Journal, which is a Dutchess County-based daily newspaper, and I write about alternative sports. A lot of sports that I don't have the guts to do, like rock climbing and ice climbing and stuff like that, offbeat sports for the most part. And I did a story on these women who had started a women's ice hockey team. The reason they started the team was they didn't have enough fathers for the father-son annual father-son game. And so the mother said, you guys can stay home, we'll play. The team was probably about 2 or 3 weeks old when I went and did a story on them. And then I was invited to join. I couldn't even stand up on skates in the locker room, but I went and I joined, and I was by far the worst player on a bad team. I would skate like I was on a scooter, pedaling with my left foot while skating on my right. Linda Cooper set me up for skating lessons, not telling me that I was 27 and the next oldest person in the class was 8. This was like a class every Saturday morning, line up by height, so of course I was at the end of the line to get our little reward, which often was a lollipop from our 16-year-old instructor. So that was my beginning of ice hockey. I became goalie because my technique was always to dive. Because I was such a horrible skater, I would dive, and the first game I ever played, I got the game puck because we were playing a men's very raw beginner team, and I was trying to catch this guy, and his friends were upstairs with his wife, and everyone was like, there was like a lot of people watching this game, and I dove, and I knocked the puck away and also knocked him, and the two of us went sliding, and his wife thought that was just the best. And at the end of the game, Mike Benelli, who is our first coach and still runs the Zamboni over at Harvey School in Katona, which is where we started, he gave me the game puck for that effort, which I still have, of course. I wasn't brought up in a way where I was ever told that because I was a girl, I couldn't really do something. And I think to people who don't play the sport, it probably is an issue, and it always shocked me that other people thought that way. A friend of mine has this expression, what's your squirrel? And it's the thing that sets you off, because you go nuts. Your squirrel is what makes you nuts. Ageism makes me nuts. I will never play in a 30 and over tournament. I'm 50 years old. I think it's ageist, and I'll never play in a 30 and over tournament. And people look at me like I have horns about this, like, but you're 50. And I'm like, no, that's ageist. If you're telling me that you think that a kid at 22 is better, I want to play against the best, because we can still be the best. I love, when I'm playing ice hockey and I want a good player to shoot because I know I'll stop them, I think that's akin to a runner's high. And when you make a glove save or you make a stack save and you just denied someone who by all rights probably should have scored, that's you know, ecstasy. It's wonderful. To me, every time on the ice I'm trying to prove something to myself and to others. And if I'm not on, it's devastating to me, even if it's practice. I try to correct my playing in a different way from what was probably socially acceptable. I get very upset. I try to like knock some sense into myself. So that may be something like not bad, like taking my stick and hit myself in the head, which you're wearing a whole helmet, so that's not a big deal. But I also have a tendency, if I'm really upset about stuff, once the play goes the other way and hopefully people aren't watching, I will turn around and bang my head on the crossbar. Sometimes too hard. But I try to do it so that I tell myself to focus, because being a goalie is all about angles and it's all about focus.
Oh, good. That's nice. That's nice for documenting my cold.
Oh, right.
Empire State Games for me is one of the main reasons I play hockey. Hudson Valley team, which is our local region, has played in this since 2000, and we are one of the weaker regions. We don't have the base, which is one of the reasons why I always make the team. I love playing against the best, and there was a year we were playing up there, and this girl scored on me quite a few goals, and we were playing the Adirondack region, and after our game, the Olympic team was working out, and it turned out the girl who was scoring on me was the assistant coach of the Olympic team.
Is there anything else you're looking forward to about going up to this tournament?
I'm going to have a very good time at this tournament because I'm afraid that this is the last year of the Empire State Games. And the summer games are all but canceled already because of finances, and so this is probably our last hurrah. And hopefully, even if it is our last hurrah, it's not the last hurrah for the entire Empire Games. And every year they tell us that we're would-be Olympians, and everyone laughs about that. That elusive medal is, this is our last shot.
Nancy, tell us about the one big game that you guys did win.
I thought from the get-go, playing the defending champ Long Island, we had a legitimate shot at winning that game, and I was definitely in the minority. And I wouldn't have bet my house, on it, but I thought we had a chance.
Okay, we're all loose, we're all ready, and play with confidence, guys. Play with confidence.
I'm looking at the clock, and it's saying 4-3, and I'm looking at that, and I know when it gets down to 2, there's no way they're getting that puck out of there and getting a shot off. And then all hell broke loose, and it was like the 1980 Olympic team had just beaten the Russians. It sounds ridiculous, but to us, I have never heard such noise in my life. Everybody was, because they were already down there, the players who were on the bench come swarming out, they come skating over, and it was a sea of people screaming. It was deafening, and it was like elation. People were hugging each other, and there were players on our team who had come to 2 practices, and I didn't know their last names. It didn't matter at that point. We were all best friends. That was our game. That was our moment in time. And our hockey team is a second family to us, and that is really the truth. I mean, I look at these people. I know I will have these people for friends the rest of my life. People have very diverse backgrounds, and they have, and today we have gay players and straight players. We have people who have kids in their 20s, and we have kids in their 20s who are on our team. But when we're together, we're one.